hey, so this is Alex with Darkraven Games, and I thought I would just give this a whirl here. I'm not looking to get famous doing this, I'm just looking to have fun doing this. I play, you know I love board games, and I've played a lot of board games in my life, but I also like video games, and this is one of my favorites of all time now. This is War Thunder. I used to play World of Tanks a lot, but I decided that after I played War Thunder, there was really no going back. And it's because of the damage models. The damage models, in my opinion, World of Tanks are just childish. Who would play a game with tanks with hit points? Then again, who would play with any game with hit points? I mean, you need damage models. I mean, in World War II simulations, you need damage models. And in my opinion, the damage model in War Thunder just blows World of Tanks away. I had my fun with World of Tanks for a while. But once I tried War Thunder and I saw the damage model, I couldn't go back. Because why would a freaking Tiger 1 have 1,200 hit points? And then you have to hit it so many times and then you take it out. It's just ridiculous. War Thunder's got its individual modules in each tank. Your projectile hits the tank, it breaks apart, it shatters inside the tank, it creates debris known as spalling within the tank. And that flies around the interior of the tank, taking out modules and crew and all kinds of stuff. And that just isn't in World of Tanks for whatever reason. So I was so impressed with that, I switched to this and I've never gone back. Anyway, so I'm just going to give this a whirl here. If you haven't tried War Thunder, I'm about to show you one of the coolest games of all time. And there we have it. So let's wait and see which battle we get into. All right, so here they've taken us to Sedan, and Sedan is an interesting battlefield, not only because it was an interesting breakthrough point on the war in the German war against France and Britain on the Western Front in 1940, in June of 1940, or May of 1940. It was also the location of a very important battle during the Franco-Prussian War in 1870. Or was it 71 now? I can't remember. Anyway, so I'm going to pick up my camouflage here. It's going to be my summer camouflage that I've done myself in Photoshop. And I'm going to start at this spawn point. Finally got some decent visibility here. So my camo looks like it's adequate for the situation. And again, I put this together myself in Photoshop, because I wasn't really happy with the options presented for this. Now this is the RU251. By the way, I'm playing on a large screen television over here, and this is my laptop where I do the controls. I love playing on a large screen television because when I'm flying, I can see the targets much better on the ground than when I'm playing on a tiny laptop. And there are a few other benefits as well. But anyway, so this is my RU251. It's I think level 5.7, battle rating 5.7 German light tank. There are some things I like about it a lot. I really like speedy light vehicles. I like playing in them. I'm going here now for objective B to pick up some spawn points quickly. But I've been driving the wrong direction. I can see now, so maybe I've wasted an opportunity there. But anyway, I used to love playing with the American M18. I love that one, players. Anyway, I used to love playing with the American M18, which is an amazing light tank. And the Germans didn't really have anything. They had their Sonderkraftfahrzeuge 234s, I believe. And but that really didn't match with the American M18 in terms of what it was capable of. And now with the introduction of the RU251, like over a year ago, this is certainly equal things up, balance things out. And here I am about to pick up this objective here. Now I'm going to swing in here and launch some smoke. And hopefully none of the enemies going to hit this point as well, and then block my attempt to pick up the spawn points. We'll see. I'm going to drop some artillery right outside the town here, just in case somebody is trying to sneak in, although I doubt I'll hit them. Got it. Okay, so now I need to get out of here. These graphics are just gorgeous. And I do feel the camo is spot on right now. Now, the question is, are we going to get taken out? Oh shit. Yep, there we go. Alright, so I've got to at least locate. Oh, okay, I died before I could report its position. Not good. So anyway, I hope I picked up enough spawn points for an airplane there, but nothing great. Alright, I've got my BF 109 G6. That's got a nice, it's a late war Messerschmitt that with a 500 kilo bomb underneath, and I think I see a target right there. And one thing, I wanted to take up my HE 177, but actually in some respects I like the precision and delivery on this one a little bit more. Now you can see here I'm watching a tank go into, I think he's going to escape into that town before I can hit him, yep. Ah, but there's another one right there. So I like the precision and delivery that I can achieve with this one. Let's see if it's good enough. Got him. Alright, so I really like the precision and delivery on the BF 109. It's almost better than a Stuka. So I hope that somebody said bravo to my hit on that tank. So now we're going to fly back to our base here and load up with another bomb. I actually use this as a fighter bomber. And again, it's because I like the ability of this with this advanced engine to get in quickly, hit, and get out without taking too much flack, literally. And while I love the HE 177 bomb load, this one, like I said, it lets me get right down to the ground exactly to where I want to be, and almost always lets me put the bomb right where I want it. Now let's see, I need to bleed off some speed here. Okay. So hopefully we can get back up in the air in here and over to Sedan quickly and drop off another 500 kilogram bomb. Hopefully right down the commander's hatch of one of those enemy tanks. Who are we up against right now? Whoa. Let me get some good speed up here before I do any radical maneuvers. Flaps raised. Now let's see, we are fighting against all the allies, Americans, Soviets, Brits, and French. I can see an enemy airplane over the sky right now. Two of them, no, one of them. I really do like playing on this large television. Makes life a lot easier. Alright, so now we need to... Okay, so we're on objective B, they're on A and C. So they control Sedan and we control the point in the center of the map. I'm going to look for... I don't like bombing in the city for obvious reasons, because it's hard to find your target. I'm going to see if I can find something around A, here on the eastern end of the battlefield. Oh, there's a tank. Yep. And there's an enemy airplane. Now the question is he going to see us? Yo. Yeah, they got me. Yeah, B-25. I like those B-25s as well. They got some nice, decent frontal armament. Interesting about the B-25, it's got those 4 heavy guns right around the nose of the plane. And that makes shooting at distant targets a lot easier because you don't have to worry about whether your guns are calibrated to meet at 300 meters or 400 meters or whatever. They just go straight, and it makes shooting distance a lot easier than, for instance, a lot of planes where they have the guns mounted on the wings, where you have to worry about where they're going to meet in space. All right, so now I need to be careful here. I need to start looking for targets. Okay. There's a target right there. Now, I hope the B-24 doesn't come after us again, because he's still up there. It looks like he's interested in... No, he's not interested in us. He's interested in somebody else. I'm interested in this vehicle here. Uh-huh. Let's see if we got him. Nope. Oh, we got him! Awesome! So that was a super heavy British tank called a Tortoise, sitting way back from the battlefield, knowing he's completely impervious to our incoming shots from our tanks, because that has a frontal arm, an insane frontal armor. And I was happy that I was able to take that out for the team with my two massive 1,800 kilogram bombs. This is just a beautiful airplane. It was Germany's only mass production semi-heavy bomber. They made about 1,700 of them, and I didn't know about it until about 2 years ago. Really interesting airplane. And let's see if we can find another. Okay, I need to concentrate on the game now. Hold on. So, where do I see another? Oh, there's another. No, they're shooting me. That's a bad sign. Never go in on a. No, don't want to do that. Oh, got him. Nice shot. I'm glad. That was a good one. All right, so it doesn't always pay to go after a plane on your tail. Sometimes it's better to just get out of there, but sometimes it's actually worthwhile manning the guns and going after a plane on your tail. Let's see here now. Where are the enemies at? Oh, there's a tank right there in that open field. Let's see if I can take him out. Right to the south of Sedan. Right to the south of town. Damn it! Somebody's shooting at me. But I've got 6 500 kilogram bombs left. Oh, they just took him out. Damn it! There's another vehicle. Uh-oh, somebody's probably on my tail. I can hear it. Damn it! Got him. Second plane. Problem. Okay, now, whoa. Let's see if we can get this guy now. Nope. Damn. That other plane distracted me too long and I wasn't able to line up on the target properly. So we still got 3 bombs. And we're leaking. All right, so I'm going to go in for a final run on this thing, I hope. Another plane. There's another vehicle. All right, he doesn't see us. And, you know, it sounds crazy to say that in an airplane, but it's true, because he's not going to be firing at us. And... oh, I didn't even kill him. Oh, man. Well, okay, so anyway. Not exactly my finest hour with the bombing run, but yeah, it's okay. Oh, now here we go. I've got a choice here. You know, I like planes. I didn't used to like going in planes. This is a bigger map, so I like picking up planes and getting into the action faster. I'm going to go into my Stuka. And let's see now. Now I like the Stuka. It's got a couple of 100-kilogram bombs and then a 1,200-kilogram bomb underneath. It flies kind of slowly. That's a problem in this later war period with a higher battle rating airplanes. It sounds like just a downside, but it's actually got a nice upside in that it's easier to look for targets. You got more time to deliver the bomb to your target and think about aiming. But it's really a problem if you don't have if your team doesn't have air superiority. Somebody's taking A. So an enemy's taking A, and I've got time to get over there now. And all right, so that's the tank I missed. Oh, he's just been killed. And there are 2 vehicles over there. All right, they've already seen me. That's not good. All right, let's try and get this guy. And you know what? I'm only going to use my 2 100-kilogram bombs here. No. I'm going to use them all. Well, that was badly aimed. Badly aimed. That was really badly aimed. I hit the wrong keys. That sucks. Really badly aimed. Because I was fumbling with the keys. Alright, so, unfortunately. Uh-oh, somebody's on my tail. Hey, still number 1 on the team. All right, so even though we had a miserable showing in terms of bombing, still number 1 on the team. I'm happy with that. How do we accomplish that? Okay, we capped. So this is kind of critical. We capped first. I went in with a light vehicle. I knew it was kind of a suicide mission going into the middle of the map in my light vehicle, but I got the objective. I picked up the spawn points. I came out with my ME-109. I don't think we got shut down the ME-109, and I picked up the HE-177. Really, it was a miserable bombing. Except for the first hit with the BF-109, it was kind of a miserable bombing outing. Normally, it's not that bad, but that was just the way it worked out because of my fingers on the keypad here. I'm thinking about getting a joystick so that I can play this more effectively, because I really do enjoy this game, and I'm interested in perhaps livening things up a bit. So let's check this out here. Player stats. Okay, it would have been nice if I would have actually hit 1 or 2 of those tanks. Oh, I did get that turtle sitting on the hill, though, so that was a nice one. All right, so yeah, okay, number 1, 2,888 points. I'm happy with that. Not bad, nothing to be embarrassed about. And there we have it. So, so that was fun. Doing my very first online War Thunder game. Here's my beautiful HE-177A5, just a gorgeous, gorgeous airplane. I have to say this, I'm not a fan, obviously I'm not a fan of Nazi Germany, but they have some very interesting equipment. And thank God the United States, the Soviet Union, Britain, and the Allied powers took them down. I mean, in terms of being an evil empire, there aren't many countries in the history of the world, or governments in the history of the world, which were more evil than that. So, but still, the equipment that they fielded was very interesting, quirky, and some of the designs are just gorgeous. The designers had certainly, sometimes they had a real feeling for what looked good, and I don't think the Americans matched them on that. But like I said, here in the American lineup, I've got some amazing vehicles that I just love too. And again, I don't think any of them are as beautiful, but man, some of them are just kick-ass. Like this M18, my favorite vehicle. Now here's the deal. When I played war games, when I played board tactical war games for much of my, like 10, 15, 20 years ago, 20 years ago, I used to think the M18 was a piece of crap, and that's because in board games, you put your piece on the map and the enemy knows where you're at. And so the Germans shoot at it and they take it out because this M18's got like 10 millimeters of armor, which means it's dead on the battlefield in tactical board games. But And I thought, oh, why would you ever want an M18 piece of crap? I would thought that was the biggest piece of crap in the world. But when I started playing War Thunder, and my dad, he was a tank company commander in 1960s Germany, and I thought he would play my tactical war games with me because I thought, hey, he was a tank company commander, he'd be interested. But he said, no thanks, it's not the way it works. And I was like, what? Why wouldn't you think this is the way it works? And he said, well, because it's not real time. He says, you know, you're taking turns doing things, you know where everything's at. And I was like, okay, well, maybe. So, but with the introduction, when I started playing War Thunder, I realized exactly what he's talking about. The M18, which had the worst reputation with me, is the war's biggest piece of junk, suddenly is my favorite vehicle of tank battle simulators, like War Thunder and World of Tanks, because it's fast and the enemy doesn't know where you're at. And in those tanks, in those board games that attempt to simulate World War II battle, you miss that completely. The enemy knows where you're at, and half of the value, or 2/3 of the value of an M18 is them not knowing where you're at. If you're playing this vehicle correctly, you're not leading the charge in the middle. You're off in the flanks, disappearing from one bush to another, completely. You're not anywhere where they think you're at because they're concentrated on these heavy tanks. And I don't think a force of M18s alone would work. You have to be with a force of heavies that are slow, where the enemy knows where they're at, and that's what it's like. It's like the left hand going around and around, and the right hand comes around and just clobbers them and knocks them out, and they don't know what the hell's hit them. And that is the value in this tank here, and it is my favorite vehicle in all of War Thunder. And it just would have never been had I just stuck to playing things in board games. So I really think tactical board games are a miserable simulator for that kind of a situation. Although I still like to play operational and strategic level board games. I think that makes sense. I just don't have time for it now, but I think that makes sense. A few other American vehicles that I've enjoyed are this A-20 G25. Pretty cool. Nice ground strike aircraft with nice cluster of guns here in the front, and this B-25J1, which is pretty cool too, because they've got a nice heavy medium payload, but still some of the maneuverability required to put it on target. I had a B-17, and I was so excited when I got my B-17. I thought, oh great, heavy payload right on the battlefield. No, it sucks. Absolutely no maneuverability to pull off any kind of decent delivery of this heavy payload on the battlefield. Unlike the HE-177, which actually still has just enough maneuverability to get by with this. Now, if you go in without these heavy bombs on the wings, which I took out that tortoise with, if you go in without those heavy bombs, you have a lot more maneuverability because your wings they're not loaded down, and your center of your angular momentum that you have to overcome when you're doing the turns isn't as great. And so often I go in without these super heavy bombs on the outside just because of the extra maneuverability. Now, interesting enough, when the German Air Luftwaffe issued the specifications for this plane, they actually required it to have a dive bombing capability. And within the bounds of War Thunder, I see why that is. It certainly seems like it's helped a lot in delivering the payloads accurately. The B-17, it's just, I thought I was so excited about it, but it's just not what it needs to be for delivering ordnance to a battlefield. So there we have it. Okay, great. I had a good time with you. This is my very first battle like this, and my very first video where I thought it'd be interesting to play it, to do some computer gaming with my Darkraven, some of my Darkraven backers. And I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Maybe I'll see you again in the near future. I hope to see you again in the near future. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Have a great day.